Welcome to the show. Very good morning. Second hour of the show. And second hour, we always feature our guests in the studio. And today, different topics, different days from Mondays till Thursdays. And today, it's me, Gilbert, here together with our guest in the studio. It's so nice to have her. I was having a chat with her much earlier on. And to find out somebody who's been, I should say, enterprising when it comes to information technology. A very good morning to you, Helen. Helen, how are you? And welcome to the show. This is Momentum.
I'm very well.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on the show, Gilbert and the TRAXXfm team.
You're welcome. Helen, now just before I can get on to our topic for today, and it seems to be a very interesting topic here as we will be talking about your experience in the IT world, information technology, and the journey that you have been through, the ability to adjust according to what's happening in the information technology world, and the journey of resilience in the IT industry. And Helen, just to give you a little bit about Helen before Helen explains more about her interesting journey that she has had all this time. Now, just to let you know a little bit about Helen, the first Malaysian to be awarded Best Ally APAC Women in the Tech World, and also recognized as Top 5 Malaysian female motivational speaker. This particular one here caught my eye here. All of us do definitely need motivation, and being top 5 in Malaysia, that's a big wow. All right, and also a member in the National Association of Women Entrepreneur of Malaysia. So Helen Selvanathan, together with us, advocate of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's a very big word, but we will be making it we'll be compressing it right here during our interview with Helen. So, Helen, thank you so much for joining us in TRAXXfm. And Helen, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and exactly what do you do?
Thanks, Gilbert. I've been spending over 27 years in the information technology industry, largely with multinational corporations. Mm-hmm. And my responsibility during my job time was doing business development and marketing for software partners, companies that build IP and want to take it to market, and also teaching them how to monetize their solution. And one of the key things that I was very involved in is reviewing their business development plans for this region.
Right.
And I've had the experience of working alongside multinationals and the different cultural people as well. And one good thing I must say that is currently I'm an advocate of diversity and inclusion, mm-hmm. and I focus a lot on women development even when I was in my job, right. And also look forward to meeting a lot of other women now that I'm not retired but retrying.
Retrying,
yes. And I will soon embark back on my journey again. So the resilience is really important in being a woman and trying very hard in the ICT world.
Right. The ability to adjust and bouncing back again, right. And things like that. Thank you so much, Helen. Helen, now with all the journey that you have, and that word there, not retired but retrying, is that I got it right?
Yes.
I saw that in here, and it's really interesting to see that word that has a very big meaning to it. Thank you. And Helen, could you talk about the significant decision that you have made that helped shape your career path?
I think every woman have different ideas about what they want to be when they want to work, right?
Right.
When I first, in my teenage days, I thought I wanted to be a doctor. And then I said, no, not this. And because I was very vocal, my ecosystem decided I should be a lawyer. Right. But that too didn't work for me. And through my mentoring, through some of my close contacts, right. I had the chance to enter into the ICT world with a local IT company. Mm-hmm. Of course, starting very small and young, your first entry level into your work world. Okay. I was a marketing coordinator, and I took the chance to literally build my ability to learn and relearn. I also had my drop-down days, but I took that as a learning curve. And then I moved on to a multinational where I stayed 20 years. So, staying in a company for 20 years, yep. I think these days, the next gen, a sense of belonging is very different. Right. So these 20 years, I learned to look at every chapter of my career in that 20 years differently. I think Pablo Picasso said, right? If I do not have red, I'll paint with blue, or if I do not have blue, I'll paint with red, right?
Right.
So
Right.
every career journey was a different white paper to me. I took the opportunity to paint beautiful things. So I would always sit there and ideate new ideas
Right.
and bring that back as a value to the company that I was working with, to the stakeholders I was working with. And it gave me a lot of learning curves. And I took that as a chance to further progress in wanting to stay at a regional level and work with multinational companies. Yeah.
Right. You see, Helen, it's like the desire to be a doctor when you were young, and then being vocal. Okay, doctors, no, you shouldn't be talking too much. The right place to go, the right path to take is law, and then later into IT. That's such a big difference there, and it's like a leap jump or a huge jump there. But Helen, adapting in it and being who you are today, that's amazing. Seriously, I mean, from where it is, from medical to law, and then you go all the way into IT, information technology, and that's a huge leap. And I think the multinational company that you were in, 20 years with your services, I'm sure you picked up a lot of experiences and knowledge there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you sculptured your path in the IT world.
True. And I took a no grit, no pearl effect to myself, you know.
Right.
If you didn't try, if you didn't take that risk, you will never get to see the pearl, right? So
Yes.
I always believed in that motto.
Okay.
And, 20 years in a particular organization and then 7 in another really taught me a lot of things, managing from boardrooms to even speaking at different levels.
Right.
And that also built up my ability to become a motivational speaker, helping the next gen.
I think it's also the character. It's not just being a person who is very vocal. It's the character. And Helen managed to even capture my attention, because when I was looking through the questionnaire here, and straight away that the person just says hi to you like you just known each other for a very long time. It happened, and that's how warm Helen is. And well, it's nice to have her here in the studios right here at TRAXXfm. Thank you, Helen.
Thank
that
you.
experience that you had in your journey. Helen, as you said, working in a multi-level company for 20 over years, and with all the experience that you had, now, how do you balance your professional and then your personal life effectively?
It's work-life integration. It's no more work-life balance.
Okay.
Over the years, the IT industry has changed quite a bit, right?
Yes.
Everything is instant. With the advent of AI and newer technologies,
Yeah,
everyone
okay.
wants everything consistently.
Yes.
Data at your hand,
Right,
and I'm
right.
sure you use the mobile as well.
Yeah.
Everything is mobile-based, right?
Yeah.
Now, in this industry, you got to be literally taking time off for yourself when you can. So what I practiced was a little bit of integration into the work. And I had the opportunity to travel quite a bit, because when you do a regional role, you travel quite a bit.
All right.
I took a day off or an extra day on my own, and I will stay back in that country or city I am
Okay.
and try to network with colleagues or friends that are living in that country.
Okay.
I also take time to understand the politics and socio-economy of the country. I
Right.
mean, this is something that you have to do because it's a learning curve, right? It's
Yes.
for your own personal development. I think the other thing that I did, like every other woman, right? Don't miss the retail therapy. Yeah, don't miss the retail therapy when you're in the city, because
Yes.
retail therapy really gives you great ideas. You walk through a store and you see newer things,
Yeah.
and then you come back rejuvenated. I had my own me days. So in a week, I would pause one of those days in the afternoon,
Okay.
which is just meant for me.
Okay.
And I will either read, write, or just look blankly at the wall with my coffee cup. And that's when I take the time to ideate newer things that I want to do, or just look through for reading materials that I would like to read over a period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming back to what you just said, that accepting new information and things like that. Everybody, when the day that you come and you think that I know that. I know everything. And that's the day actually you do not know anything yet. So it's always having that leeway to accept new knowledge, new information, and as you travel around the world, new culture.
Yes.
And then taking off that particular day, recuperating and reading and things like that, just for yourself and nothing else around you. Many of us don't find that particular thing that they can do, that particular time, that one day off. Many of us don't do that. It's like 6 days a week, when you start working, and then on the last day, which is the Sabbath on Sunday, it's family obligations and things like that. So you do not have time for yourself, but you manage to do that.
Yes, the me days are very important, and I encourage the women listeners and the male allies on this call as well that if you give time to yourself, it gives you new energy, the energy
Right.
that you can go out there and share with the others as well.
Right.
And as you ideate new thinking, be approachable, that you can teach this back to others as well. In that conversation, you will learn something else, and you'll be even more surprised how other people know a lot more. And today, information technology is so readily available. You may know 50% or some topic,
Right.
but someone else can add on another 10%, and that makes you wholesome in some way.
Right. There you go. So that's very important knowledge. It never ends, in other words.
Keep
And
learning.
Keep learning. Yeah, that's it. And just to let our listeners know, for the benefit of our listeners, we are live right now on Facebook Live. It's TRAXXfm. And if you'd like to probably share or anything like that, you can do so on our comment columns. We have Juliana here in the studios with us, and she will be attending to that. Besides that, we're also on Instagram and YouTube. All right, thank you. It's TRAXXfm, #TRAXXfm. Always remember that. And do look up for us, as you can catch us live also on our social media platform. Now, we were talking to our guest in the studios. Very interesting topic, and especially on today, W Talk, Women Talk, being an entrepreneur, especially in the IT industry, the journey of resilience in the IT industry with Helen Selvanathan, advocate of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And a very interesting topic here. She did share about her personal journey that she's been having all this time, and recognizing her as the top 5 Malaysian female motivational speaker. Not only in that, but also being someone in the IT industry. That's really, really interesting, talking to Helen once again. And Helen also did tell us on how she balances her busy lifestyle, her professional lifestyle, and how it's all been balanced, and with her personal life effectively. Thank you so much for the share that you had with us here, Helen. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a short break, a short song break. And when we come back, we'll be talking to our guests once again with Helen this morning here. And the next question would be very interesting, sharing key challenges that she has faced in her journey or in her career. So do stay tuned for that one there. This is Trax Momentum on a Tuesday, the 2nd of July. Stay tuned. Back in a bit. the month, the 2nd of July. It's Momentum, W Talk. And we have our guest in the studios here. Very interesting topic. Today's topic, the journey of resilience in the IT industry. Talking to Helen Selvanathan. And thank you so much, Helen, for being here in the studio with us. My producer, Juliana, together with us. We're also live on Facebook Live. That is #TRAXXfm. And not forgetting for YouTube, you can look for us there. And for those of you who'd like to say good morning to Helen, well, you can do so on our Facebook, on our comment section there. Do so. 2nd of July's topic, advocate in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as Helen did give us highlights about her journey in her work career, I should say. And just to give you a little gist about Helen here, first Malaysian to be awarded the Best Ally APAC Women in Tech World. And the one that I told you earlier on, which caught my eyes, is recognized as top 5 Malaysian female motivational speaker. And while we were off air, Helen has been giving me a little bit about motivation. Thank you so much, Helen. That's especially for me.
Thanks, Gilbert.
Okay. And yes, I would also like to say hello to Daddy. Daddy is tuning in to us. Yes, Mr. Selvanathan, thank you so much for tuning in to TRAXXfm. Always tuning to TRAXXfm, not only when Helen is here in the studios, but always with us. Yes, thank you so much. It's good music, good entertainment, and I should say it is informative. So, well, Helen did tell us about her journey and what she does during her spare time, how she gets knowledge, her experiences being abroad whenever she travels. It's also going on a spree of not shopping spree, but also to understand the culture and the country itself. So that's a little bit that we were talking on our first segment of the show. But we are in the second segment, and here, Helen, coming back to our topic here, and just to give our listeners a little view, a little heads up on the key challenges that you have faced on your journey in your career, to succeed in your career, that is.
I think the first thing I would like to say is being recognized to be able to do a regional role. It was a tough time, when the early stages of the IT industry in Malaysia, the regional roles were always going to more matured countries at that stage.
Right.
And we had to keep on being on our toes and improving ourselves. And sometimes in multinational, you have to keep on raising your hands to say, here I am, I'm equally able to do something that, could have been done by someone else.
Okay.
And so I think the ability to being recognized was one area that I felt at that point, something that I would have appreciated a bit more. Second thing is also presentation styles. I think you kept talking about being motivational speaker and all that. Presentation styles, you don't learn these, like on your first day of your job or the first year in your job, unless you're born with the gift of the gab, right?
Right.
And so it took me a while to literally build my presentation styles, skills. And I would stand in front of the mirror every time I was going to MC something, because you're in marketing.
Okay, you do it. Okay.
Yes, I would stand in front of the mirror and I will say to myself, you can do this, you can do this. And then I will go and MC a lot of verbal mistakes in the early stages.
Tell me about it.
Yes, but I took my own chance to learn. I will watch a lot of newscasters as well, how they do it, how they look at
Right.
the screen. And I learned a lot from also my seniors at workplace and also people in the industry. There are a lot of people who can coach you. So I took a lot of time to learn presentation styles. And one key thing I must say is being in teams that are all male. So that's when I started advocating for diversity and inclusion, because in the early era of the ICT industry, a lot of them were male, right? Whether they are in the sales or whether they are in the back-end development jobs,
Right.
they were always the male gender.
Right.
So I think after a period of time, there were many Malaysians coming forward, and kudos to them as well, stepping out of, and now we call STEAM as part of the education for women to be more and more involved in science, technology, arts and mathematics, right? So we hopefully will develop more. And so that was one of my challenge, right? I needed to say, hey, look, women can do it, girls can do it. So I think now we are starting to recognize women more and more, and thanks to many associations and also industry captains who have started recognizing diversity and inclusion as a key part in their organization. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So just the overall of Helen's success in her career and how she managed to, what should I say, just cut out the cloth accordingly. Now, Helen, in your experience, what are the strategies that you have found most effective in overcoming setbacks in one's career? Everybody goes through this.
Be your own self-motivator because you know yourself the best. You know, when are you at your most highest capacity to do something?
Okay.
So you have to be your own self-motivator. Of course, you learn along the way through other mentorship, or you even learn along with colleagues or friends that guide you.
Right.
But you have to do these and come out of failures, come out of depression, come out of a lot of things that hinders you from going forward. You know, I think earlier I mentioned no greed, no pearl, right?
Yep,
If you don't do something and take that steps to do it, you will definitely end up not being able to learn something new, right? And I take some moments to hang out with people who are positive, you know, who
Yes.
only give me the positive
I was about
vibes,
to ask you that, yes.
That becomes a great encouragement to me, and at times I too have failed, I too have slipped, and I will take that encouragement from people who gave me that positive vibes to just move on, right?
And share it later.
Yes, exactly. So that's
next.
where the mentorship comes in, and I took time also to do. I'm very active in my church, and I'm also active with social concern works
Okay.
outside. So I take time to now develop other women. So this is really the giving back, because to be effective in your community, you have to give back. You know,
Right.
you just
Not
can't
just
learn and keep it
keeping
for
it, yeah,
yourself, right?
yeah.
And you learn, you know, in that process, you learn as well. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the question here that we have for Helen now. When she has taken the negative, churned it into something positive, and when it's time to give back, Helen, how important has mentorship been in your career, and do you actively mentor others today?
Yes, I do. You know, mentorship comes in multiple facets, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be direct mentorship that it's only at work or at school, right?
Right.
Mentorship can come also in the environment that you're in, your family, your friends, and you know how you actually communicate and how you uplift one person from another, right?
Right.
I also believe in reverse mentoring from the next gen. So reverse mentoring is very important, because if you realize, right, the next gen today, they were literally born with the IT literacy.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
yes,
So, you know,
correct.
and the advent of social media, I take a lot of guidance from the younger next gen, you
Okay.
know, and so they have taught me a lot of things, even shortcuts on mobile phone.
Oh, tell me about it.
What to post where, and so I've moved away from Facebook and I'm on Instagram. So that's a catch that I got from you know, getting some reverse mentoring.
Right. Okay. So yeah, sometimes when you're on certain platforms of media, right, social media platforms, and when you just do only Facebook, and then they can categorize you. Oh, he's in this category or this age category, and then if you're into X, oh, he must be one of those. And then if you're into TikTok and to the others, which is Instagram and all that, oh, this person is, you know, he's modern. You know, I mean, he's in, you know, the in thing, you know,
That's
kind of
right.
thing like that. But it also depends on what kind of information that you're getting out there. So using the right platform, the right social media platform is very important, and to understand that. So just a little bit from Helen right there. Helen, can you explain how networking plays a part of professional success? That's something which is, I believe, very important. You need to have the right people, to know the right people at the right time, and things will fall in place. So can you explain a little bit about this one?
Yeah, and to the women especially who are the listeners, I suppose, to this particular show, networking is a must. You know, people network two ways, right? Either intentionally, there's a purpose to network,
Okay.
and some people network professionally for personal reasons as well.
Right.
So I took the two-prong approach. I networked for both reasons,
Okay.
professional and personal. And my advice to the women is don't take on too much. Don't join many associations and then you don't have your me time. You don't have time for your family. Don't have time for doing things that you would like to do. So be cautious in taking up too much. So there's a balance in the way you network as well, right?
Right.
And as an ambassador of diversity and inclusion, again, I like to say that the networking has taught me culture, has taught me lifestyles of people, and how to bring this back, as an impact to the community. Yeah, so
Right.
it is totally important, but make sure that it's not overdoing it as well.
Not overdone, yes. Thank you so much, Helen. Helen will be taking a short song break. And, especially going out to each and every one of you who are tuning into TRAXXfm, especially the women who are with us here on W Talk Momentum. While we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be rounding it up. The words of wisdom from Helen. So do stay tuned for that. And this particular one is for you, listeners. When you believe, this is what can happen. Evening, it's 7 minutes to top of the hour. Now, very quickly here, before we hand you over to the newsroom, we are talking to Helen. The studio's here with us, our guest, and today's topic, very interesting. W Talk, the journey of resilience in IT industry. And while Helen is an advocate of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And very quickly here, Helen, with all that you have said with us here on TRAXXfm, what is your advice, Helen, that you would give to women, aspiring them to succeed just like you?
Firstly, build your ecosystem. In my home, my sister takes care of the home affairs, so that gives me a lot of chance to do and be focused in my work area.
Right.
So, ecosystem building is very important. Mm-hmm. Secondly, be bold where you need to be bold and speak up where you need to. That is really very important. A lot of women shy away. So my encouragement to them is be bold and speak up and have your facts right with it, right?
Yes.
And also, being literally ready for the transformation. At any age stage of your life, transformation is bound to happen, whether you're at the peak of your career or you're just starting your career or, you're even getting married or having children.
Right.
Transformation generally tends to happen. So I encourage you to, be planning for it, prepare for it, and make sure that you progress consistently with it. And with God's grace, we always believe, right, that when you're truthful to yourself and take care of others, good things will come to you.
Definitely. Well said once again, Helen. Thank you so much, Helen. In the studio with us is Helen Selvanathan, and to Daddy, who's tuning into TRAXXfm, thank you so much also. Journey of resilience in IT industry. W Talk on Momentum. Thank you so much, Helen.
Thank you, Gilbert and the Trax team for having me on this show.
Nice. Thank you so much once again. And just to let you know that Helen Selvanathan, advocate of diversity, equity, and inclusion on today's topic, Momentum. Thank you so much to my producers, Juliana and Valerie, and to our listeners. Keep it locked in right here, TRAXXfm News. Midday coming up in a bit. We'll be back with you right after that. Stay tuned.